Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweeties YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 11, 8, and 5. So we are just finishing up our 6-year homeschooling, about to start our 7th. And today's video may be a little controversial. This might be something that you're not interested in, and that is totally fine. But I wanted to get this out there for those that are. So I am giving 5 reasons why we chose as a family to join a public virtual school. Now this is similar to, I know some states have charters, some might be mandatory if you're homeschooling to join like a charter or umbrella school or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs of every charter or umbrella school or even public virtual school, but I will just be sharing the 5 reasons why we chose the public virtual school in our state. And I know that it is available in several other states, so maybe this will help you. We traditionally homeschooled for 3 years. So that was just like, we didn't really answer to anybody in our state. There wasn't really too many regulations. So we just took our attendance and kind of just did our own thing. We've completed 3 years now with our public virtual school in our state. And so I'm going to just kind of share my 5 reasons why we appreciate this program and why we will continue to be in it. So first of all, for a public virtual school, I am still the teacher. I am in control of like what we do. I do need to turn in like logs or just information about what they're learning, and about every month or so we turn in work. So we take pictures of the work. We can turn in videos or those type of things, and then we turn that in, and we all have a homeroom teacher. And so the homeroom teacher grades it pretty much as long as you are completing work and in that certain subject that you need to have done, then you will usually get a good grade. I mean, we have not really had any issues with that. So since it is a public virtual school, we are technically enrolled in a public school, but that really hasn't been an issue for us. I know that's one big thing that people are like, oh, I don't want to be in a public school. We do not attend a public school, and it is a certain one in our state. It's not any district, it's just one certain district that like hosts this. We turn in those logs, and we can use any curriculum with our public virtual school, but it can be Christian, religious. You can unschool if you want, but in order for them to like help toward any educational purchases, then that needs to be non-religious. So you can still use religious items. So let me just go on, and we'll go ahead and get started with number 1. I mentioned we have a homeroom teacher, and I was nervous at first to have a homeroom teacher. Like, I was like, well, is she going to be telling me what to do? And just kind of be over me and like bossing me around and everything. And that is totally not our experience. We have had like just an awesome homeroom teacher. She has been our homeroom teacher for 3 years now. And she's just been an encouragement, especially this last year. I don't know what it was. We had a lot of switches in our curriculum, and there was some things that I was like emailing her about and like trying to get her opinion and bounce some ideas off of her for like curriculum and stuff. I think that she has been more of like a cheerleader for us instead of like telling us what to do. So I really appreciate having someone else care and want to see our children progress and move forward. And she also just like I mean, it was part of part of her job, but I just appreciated she went and helped us get an IEP started, which I will talk about in a little bit, for my youngest daughter who needed some speech services. And then she also helped the process go to get going for us to be able to repeat my kindergarten year for my youngest. She was a young kindergartner, so we're going to repeat that. So I just appreciated all her help with that. Number 2, for the reasons why we are in our public virtual school, are the field trips. They have available virtual field trips and in-person field trips. So virtual, like a lot of times they have like meeting times that you can learn from an author or an artist. We were able to watch the Nutcracker, the Denver Ballet Nutcracker, and got to talk about it, and that was a really fun thing. We have done several others, like they have art classes and different things. So I just appreciate they have some virtual options that I'm pretty sure probably got started more around like COVID times, and so they just kind of have kept them going, I think. So I really appreciate that, especially like we're kind of in a spot in our state that isn't like not as many are in this program in my area in our state, and so like some of the in-person field trips aren't as close by us. So I appreciate that there are virtual field trips. And then like I said, there's different sections in each state that have field trips, but we are kind of in a spot that just doesn't have very many in our program. So they do also have like statewide field trips, and the capital isn't too far from us. That's where most of those field trips are, but we were able to go to a children's museum, an art museum. We got to see like the Monet exhibit, and we've been to the State House this year. So I really appreciate that they have those available, and it really usually either at little cost or no cost to us, as long as usually it includes one parent and the students, and all 3 of my kids are enrolled. So for us, for our public virtual school, I really appreciate the field trips. Number 3, I did mention an IEP earlier in speech services for my youngest. I really am so thankful that this is available at no cost to us. And I do not have to go anywhere. The services are virtual, and so we have had a whole year of speech services, and our speech therapist was from New York State, which is not where we are. So she was from an out of state, and she was just so great with my daughter. And so like it was just an awesome experience, and she has an IEP, but it wasn't a big deal to get it set up in our program. So I really appreciate that those services, IEPs and special needs services, are available through our public virtual school. Number 4, this is kind of, I think many of you will probably be like, this is crazy, but it is a requirement for us to do state testing, for my girls to do state testing. Now, my younger 2 have done like dyslexia testing online. It wasn't a big deal, but they haven't had to do any state testing yet. But my oldest has done it for 3 years now. She has, we have had to go to a site and in our state and be in person, and those homeroom teachers are the proctors over the state testing. I do believe that there is like some teachers that like if they're set up with the IEPs, like they can, same with like in the public schools, you might need assistance with the test taking. But for the most part, they're just there to proctor the tests. But I really appreciate it. And I know that can be so fearful for like parents that homeschool, like they don't want state testing. And not that I think that the scores mean anything, but what I appreciate about the state testing is that she is learning testing skills. She will have to take tests in the future. I don't know what her career will be. She might have to take tests in her career. She might have to take tests if she wants to go to college. High school levels, a lot of times will need testing. She might do dual enrollment in high school with doing some college classes. So there are going to be tests throughout her life. And for all of my kids, my middle wants to be a veterinarian. So she is probably going to be taking a lot of tests. So I have already seen, just in the 3 years that my oldest has taken tests, that she has learned some great test taking skills. She knows that we aren't holding to these test scores. We get them like months later, like the scores. But I think, and I wasn't even going to share her scores, but she has asked me, and I think that also motivates her to do better, to try harder in her schoolwork. She has learned to like how to review things and to check over things. She's also learned, like, if she has no clue, to move on and not to dwell on it, and she can kind of give her best guess. So I do appreciate that she has learned those skills. So and like the testing has actually been not a very stressful situation because of the public virtual school and how the teachers just are very kind and caring and just support them, I guess. So the fifth one, and this is for funding for curriculum. I know some charters just give the curriculum. We are able to kind of, in our state, we use a thing called, like, it's points, so we don't actually have any money given to us. So we kind of do like make a wish list from like Amazon or Rainbow Resources, or they can, the funding or the points can go toward like educational like classes, as long as it's non-religious, and there's different stipulations and things, but it's just been a great blessing to us. We have used some great non-religious curriculum that I never probably would have tried without using this program. I usually do try to get most of our curriculum with our points so that we are not using as much money out of pocket. And those things that we can use for the educational purposes has really helped us have more of an enriched school day. And I just really appreciate that we have that available to us. So those are my 5 reasons. You are free to ask me any questions. I know this is like kind of like a touchy subject, like some are just very against it and some are for it. So feel free to ask me any questions. If this is not for you, just be kind. I would appreciate that. I will delete unkind comments. So this is just the choice that we have made. We will be starting our 4th year in our public virtual school in our state. So thanks for joining me today, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.